Hey beautiful friends, welcome into my channel. My name is Jackie Alves, and today I'm coming to you from, of course, my beautiful makeup studio in Arizona where I live, and we're going to be talking about those always daunting, sometimes frustrating hooded lids. And you guys, I definitely have a pretty good size hooded lid for being only 51, and I'm going to show you some great tips and tricks that I know you're going to love. I'm going to show you several things, so you get to pick and choose your favorites and implement those that you love into your everyday routine. I'm even going to show you my favorite new eyeshadow palette by ColourPop. This is Bare Essentials, and look at all those shades. Holy crackers, you guys, we're gonna have so much fun today. Stick around and I'll see you on the flip side. All right, guys, let's get cracking. You know how I am. You know I will pull out all the stops. I'm not gonna just bring an eyeshadow palette and be like, do your crease really great and think that that's my hooded eye tip of this century. Like, I have some things for you today. So, I like to prep my eye products in ice water. I've told you about this before, but I am telling you, if you don't have one of those groovy little mini fridges, if you don't have room for it, if your husband does not have the patience for appliances in your bathroom of that type of proportion, then just grab some plastic cups and do some ice water in the morning. Grab a couple cubes of ice, slap it in there. But I have my cooling eye wand in here. This is metal, so you know it's getting freezing cold right now. This is my caffeinated eye serum, that caffeine eye serum that I've been blabbering about for months. Everybody is getting. You guys, get the caffeine eye serum if you haven't. I usually say, like, you know, it's not about brands or products, and I want you to use whatever you have. And if you have a favorite eye serum, please use that. It's okay. But if you are looking around for a new eye serum, try this one. You guys, I've tried other brands. I like this one the best. It has a great amount of caffeine in it. It brightens under the eyes. It depuffs the eyes. Plus, you know, with a frozen wand. I don't know. I'm just saying. All the things. Okay, and I'm going to also use a lifting and firming eye cream. This one is by Jafra Cosmetics. It's from their Defy line of skincare. Now, they have a whole line that's for lifting and firming. And this is the eye cream from that line. It's very on par with Lay Lift from Chanel. I think that's what it's called, is Lay Lift. That one is like $150 for the eye cream. This one is fraction of that, but great for lifting and firming. So I usually will use something softening underneath, but that lifting and firming on the top is really important if you can get your paws on those types of products. Now, don't spend a fortune on this kind of stuff. I just want to give you every single tip that I can. You pick out your favorites, what fits into your time budget, and what fits into your wallet budget, okay? So, your money budget. So, I'm going to pop in right now with my eye cream. I've already got a ton of moisturizer on, you guys. I did a great skin prep today. I'm gonna grab this eye cream. It's a silicone based eye cream, so it's kind of clear. You can't even see it on my finger. I'll take it and run it underneath my eyes a little, but mostly on top. Now, lymphatic drainage is gonna help with the puffiness, okay? Now, I know hooded lids is gravity. It's sometimes hereditary. We can get rid, but we can try to combat the things that we do have control over, and that's the puffiness, the lymphatic drainage, and using good products, okay? So this direction, in on the bottom, out on the top, will help naturally drain that, okay? Now, I'm gonna take my cold roller or my cooling wand, whatever. There's so many different things. I think if you just grabbed a cold spoon, you might be fine too, if you didn't want to buy one of these groovy things. And now just depuffing. Holy crap, that is so nice and cold. It feels amazing. You guys can grab these cooling ones just about anywhere. You can get this big fat gold one on my shop site as well. We'll drop a link for you for this. Okay, you can absolutely do it like here if you feel like you are puffy, if you've got some allergies working, which I almost always do. So feel free to use that cold roller or, you know, your cooling wand, whatever you've got. Feel free to use that anywhere that you're feeling like that's gonna feel really good, like right through here. Sometimes on the neck, that lymphatic drainage is really good, but today we're talking about eyes, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and get into some primer and foundation, and I of course will put primer on my eyelids. You guys, this is really important. You don't have to use an eye primer, an eyeshadow primer, any of that ridiculous sauce, okay? Don't feel obligated to do any of that. You can just use a foundation primer on your whole face, which I prefer to do. As many times as I will show you extra products like an eye serum and all kinds of cool stuff like that, I will also show you ways to not have to buy a bunch of extra products that you don't need. And remember, just because I'm going to show you this many steps doesn't mean you have to do them all. Absolutely, you take your favorites and implement them into your routine, okay? It's whatever is going to work for you. I'm going to use a cream foundation today just because my skin's getting a little dry from the season and I love how this brings my skin back to life. So the Jafra Beauty Cream Foundation, I'm going to go ahead and slap it on. All right, so I have my whole face almost completely done except for my eyelids and under my eyes. Now you guys already know, if you've been watching me for any time at all, I don't put a bunch of concealer or anything under my eyes till later, in case we get fallout from the eyeshadow or poke our eye out with mascara. You may have seen me do that in my last video and it was brutal. If you haven't seen it, go back and find it. It's ridiculous. It was the most incredible blooper of all time. I almost lost an eye, I'm just saying. So I have more foundation on my brush. I'm gonna just put it on my eyelids because this is very important for holding that eyeshadow. Like I said, we don't need an eyeshadow base or anything crazy like that, but it's gonna brighten up your eyelids, which is really gonna help your eyeshadow pop. It'll hold the eyeshadow, like I said, but it will also help with any darkness you have on that eyelid that will create more of a hooded lid, more of an aged look. So brightening that eyelid is very important. You don't have to use a bunch of concealer either. I just used my foundation. Now underneath my eye, I'm not putting a bunch of foundation. The brush is pretty dry. I'm just buffing and smoothing to make sure I don't have a big separation right here of product and no product, okay? So now I want to go in with just a little bit of powder. I'm going to use Graftobian's Professional Makeup Powder. This is just a really great translucent powder. It's an HD powder, you guys. And I'm just going to put enough on to just sort of set this foundation, just to prepare it. Just to prepare it for what I'm going to do next. So even on the eyelids, because I'm using powder eyeshadow, it just prepares the skin to receive more powder is all. I mean, that makes sense, right? Powder that cream or that liquid foundation, whatever you used. Just a nice lightweight kind of veil. And now we can do some contour, some blush, and then we're gonna get right into eyeshadow. All right, I've got some bronzer and a really pretty coral blush on right now that's gonna help pop the blue in my eyes. Even if you got brown eyes or green eyes, something with a little bit of gold in it like a coral, so something with warmth is gonna be beautiful and really pop the blue. So I'm gonna get in here with my Bare Essentials, well, Bare Necessities, eyeshadow palette from ColourPop. I love, love, love this one. I just got it at, like I told you earlier, I just got it at that 3-day masterclass I was at, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Incredible. I don't have a link for it, you guys. I'm not an influencer or a brand ambassador or any kind of anything for ColourPop, but I do use them a lot here at the beauty bar because they have some great eyeshadows. So I would suggest you maybe Google it or go to ColourPop's website and check out Bare Necessities. And now I'm gonna sing that Bare Necessities, a simple bare necessities. And now I'll just be walking like that crazy bear in Jungle Book all day long. It is what it is. So I'm going to take this matte cream shade right here. This is super important for a hooded lid. If you want to achieve the look that I'm going to show you today, use your matte eyeshadow on your lid. We're going to get it from the entire lid, like the whole lid. We're going to get it from the bottom to the top, lashes to brows, and side to side, making sure to buff anything. If you've got any creasing from your foundation there, just buff it out first before you put on your powder. Otherwise, you'll just set a crease right in there. And I did have a teeny tiny crease, but it wasn't that big of a deal, so I just buffed it really hard with my brush. This is a big fat brush by Real Techniques. You guys see me use it almost constantly at this step in my eyeshadow, because I just like how to get it on the whole eyelid with a few swipes instead of a bunch of little stabs and pokes with a smaller eyeshadow brush. I like a big fat one. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a fairly large crease brush. This one's by Sigma Beauty. And you know, I don't know what number it is, you guys. Oh, it's 903. Okay, if you want a big fat crease brush, I'm gonna go back in with this sort of tan shade right here. It is also a matte shade, and they all have names, but you guys, I can't read them. I don't have my glasses on. All right, now I'm gonna get right in the crease here. And this is a really soft fat brush, so I can do a little bit of bouncing just to get that product there. And then I can begin to swirl it a little bit. But I don't start swirling or swiping until I get that product on there. I'm gonna put a little bit more in there. Right here on these outer corners, because as you can see, when my lid is hooded, it disappears, and I want to bring it up towards the brow. You guys, this is super key. I know it might feel weird bringing up your second shade so high, but trust the process, please. Bring it up towards your brow. And I'm bringing it up and out. So I'm not just bringing it up and like putting it right on my eyebrows. You guys pay attention to the angle you're getting it at. We wanna go up and out because we're going to bring those features out. All of our features are smashed in the middle of our face right here. And like we get hooded and there's gravity and we're a little grouchy because menopause sucks and all the things, right? But let's bring it up and out, okay? Let's wake our features up and bring them out. Bringing it up towards the brow, up and out. Not so much in here, because I don't want to close it off, okay? Bringing it up, 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 up. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say up in this video, but it's a lot. All right, check it out. It's pretty high. And you know, this is a fairly light shade, so it's still light up underneath my brow. So you know, if I was gonna do a darker brown, I probably wouldn't come up quite as high because I still want a little bit of lighter space there between that transition shade and my brow, okay? Because that's kind of highlighting my brow bone. All right, let's do the other side. Just plopping it right in there, and I'll do the same thing. All right, I've got both eyes done with 2 shades so far. I'll go in with a little bit smaller brush. Let me find a good one. Here we go. This is another Sigma Beauty brush. Love this one too. And this one is E21. And I'm gonna use my deeper shade of brown. This is really pretty, like milk chocolate right here in this lower corner. Really pretty shade. I'll use it for my accent shade, and I'm gonna wrap it around the bottom and use it as eyeliner. So I just have a little bit there. Bringing it in really nice and deep. Look how dark that shade is. It's like, ah! Don't be afraid of it though. It's just eyeshadow, you guys. If you screw it up, it's not a big deal. You can just wipe it off, which I have had to do before. Not on my own face as much, but oh my gosh, sometimes on my clients. Because things just don't always work out how you plan them, you know? All right, now check this out. It's coming about halfway over, but it's really well blended. Like you can't see, there's not a defined line right here. Okay, so it just fades over toward the nose. Now I wanna bring it up higher than where my crease disappears, or you know, where my eye begins to just kind of hood right there. What we are doing with this step, this is why this is so important. We're creating the illusion of a crease right here where you don't have one, where from your brow to your lashes, it just goes straight, right? So when we shade that, we are making it look like it dents in, like we have a more pronounced crease. So I've got it kind of right there in the crease. It's disappearing about halfway over. Nice soft transition right there. But check it out. Keeping my eye open. I know you've seen makeup artists do this and influencers already on YouTube. And I have a little magnifying mirror, not the kind that I can see into tomorrow, but just where I can see fairly well. And bringing it up towards my brow, just to keep it soft so there's not a defined line. That's the key. And see how it's coming over that crease? It's much higher than you would think it should be. But look, ta-da, like it creates a crease. Now I'm gonna take that same brown, got a little bit here, I'll go underneath. It doesn't matter if I get too much because we're gonna clean it up with concealer. Remember, we wait on concealer because we trust the process. Now, if you wanna do your concealer first, I don't care. You can do it however you want. Makeup is art. There are no rules in makeup, and this is the channel of no rules. So do what you want. All right, so now I want to put a little bit of shimmer on my inner corner. I'm going to accentuate my brow. We're gonna do some liner. So let's do a couple of quick finishing touches to really ramp this up. Right now, I'm gonna use my Beauty Creations Eyebrow Definer Powder Book. Now, you may not need all these shades, and it's fine if you don't. I just want to show it to you. It's really pretty. It has like every shade, so if you're having a hard time finding a good brow powder, or if you happen to be a makeup artist, grab this little dude. He's super handy. So I'm gonna go in right here with this gray shade on my inner corner, just to keep it soft, and then I'll transition to this darker shade right here. There's a lot of great brow powders out there that have those two shades. And honestly, I don't feel like there's one better than the other. It's just finding the right shade. So when I am doing my brow, I want to make sure I'm not just going, nyah, and I'm gonna drag it down. I'm gonna bring my arch up because it's going to add to that lifted effect. So it's not just hooded lid and do the dark eyeshadow. I'm gonna show you several tricks that are going to contribute to this lifted appearance, okay? So making sure that you're getting a pretty nice arch on that. If you have uneven brows where one arch is higher than the other, you're gonna wanna try to bring balance by getting the lower one to come up just a little bit to match the other one. Don't make it outrageously obvious. I'm just saying be subtle. Just, you know, work it out, girl. You got this. All right, so bringing that arch up. This morning on the way in, I slapped on the radio and I heard the song, "Oh, Sherry, I'm out of love." And I was like, man, I remember this song. I had a flashback of making out with a boy at an arcade when I was like too young to admit. I'm not telling you. Just kidding. You know I tell you guys everything. I was 14. Don't tell my mom, she'll kill me. But anyway, I had a total flashback of making out with somebody to that song, but I also was wishing my name was Sherry. Did you guys ever go through that? Like, all those names, all those songs where they would name a girl, were you ever like, yeah, I wish my name was Sherry so Steve Perry would be singing to me? Did you ever go through that? Because I did. Why can't I be Sherry? Nobody sings about Jackie. Jackie Blue. All right, get in that arch. Except for Sharona. I never wanted my name to be Sharona. Let's do the other brow. I'll be right back. You guys, I want to show you something really quick with the brow. When you get your powder in there, I've got a little bit more on here. Make sure you're not letting your brow drag your eye shape down, where you're just going down towards your ear. Try to bring it up towards the top part of your ear right here, where you can bring it up and out. Now, you know, everybody's face is shaped different, and if this makes you look ridiculous, don't do it if you feel uncomfortable with it. But bring it up a little bit, so it will open this up and give a natural little bit of a lift rather than closing it off, okay? So just think about, instead of bringing this one down, bringing it out to right above my ear. I don't mean up here at the top of my ear. I mean like right here where it joins to my head. I don't even know what that's called, where my ear joins to my head. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of brown eyeliner today just to keep it soft. But first, before I do that, I'm going back to my Bare Necessities palette. It's good. It's never gonna stop. And this top shade, it's called Silk Teddy. I can actually read that one. Silk Teddy. Ooh la la. I'm gonna use that one because it's like a really bright, it catches some serious light, you guys, but I'm gonna put my ring finger in it like I do. And on my inner corner, just add a little bit of that in there. Making sure it didn't go too far into the brown. I don't want to erase that. Now do the other side. This stuff has a serious pop to it. It catches some great light. Check that out. Now, if you have a severely crepey lid, I don't want you to have to worry about doing shimmer if you're uncomfortable with it. Now, you know how I feel about rules. I don't care if you have mature lids, if you have mature anything, if you have a mature butt, you wear what you want. Wear shimmer on your entire face if that's what makes you feel beautiful. But I'm just gonna say, if you're super crepey right here and you have an extreme hooded lid, maybe go with a matte lighter shade rather than something that's so shimmery, because it may show the crepiness just a little bit more. Sometimes that can draw attention to that. So maybe use like a matte, like a beige shade right there if you still want it lighter, but you don't want to have that shimmer there, okay? So like I said, I'm going to go in with a little bit of brown eyeliner and just do that fat triangle on the outer corner, keeping it fat. It's going to disappear because I also don't want to close off my whole entire bottom lid. I got a hooded lid. I want some of it to try to show if possible. Like when I lift my brows, you can see all the lid. But I just want to get that little definition out here with my fat triangle technique, then make it disappear halfway over. You guys, I was at a makeup class in Vegas. I told you, like 3 days, full-blown master class. I was on my feet all day. We were doing makeup all day, and I learned a really great smoky I'm going to do in the next tutorial for you. I just wanted to order a couple of different products to use so I could show you what I learned, but a very intense smoky eye, but putting a modern spin on it for you, putting a hooded lid spin on it for you, and an over 50 spin, and not a makeup artist spin, because I want it to be simple and duplicatable for you too. All right. Fading halfway over into the lashes. All right, mascara. Now, this is really important for hooded lid. If you have a decent amount of lashes, and of course, you know, we're not gonna have full amazing lashes probably at our age, but if you have some decent lashes, I'm gonna start with this Jafra Always mascara. This is brand new. It's a great waterproof formula, but I'm gonna start with that one just to get a little bit of a build going from roots to tips. I'm focusing mostly on my roots, you guys, just to get those lashes to stand up. Now at this point, if you don't have lashes that stand up, use your eyelash curler, okay? I don't need one. Mine stand up fairly well on their own, but if you have little lashes or straight ones that are just getting stuck in the hood and stuck in the hood, like they're all gangster down in the hood. But if they get stuck in there, give them a little bit of a curl with those eyelash curlers to get it to come up, okay? And if it won't hold a curl, try it with a little bit of mascara on it first. Now I know there's differing opinions for sure on eyelash curlers, but they might help you. So, you know, to each his own. I have a lot of clients who love them. Now put a little bit on the bottom. Now don't worry, we're still going back with concealer, so no panic. I got a whole lot of jazz going on there. Now, if you can't keep from getting your concealer in your mascara, you can wait and go back later with mascara. I just don't like to because I will poke myself and get it in my concealer. So I have a way of dodging my bottom lashes with my concealer, and I'm gonna show you. So again, getting at the root, and I'll be right back with a second mascara to show you a trick. All right, I'm back with that Sigma Beauty mascara you've seen me almost lose an eyeball with. That time I poked my eye with this. But the reason why I'm going to use it is it's got that silicone wand on it, and you can see how it's curved. So whatever your favorite mascara is that has a great silicone wand that will separate the lashes, it will lift and separate, just like a good bra. So I'm going to get in all the way down to the root. I started with waterproof because I want a good layer, and if I have hooded lids, chances are it's going to transfer to my upper lid. That's another reason I don't go on top with the mascara. I only do on bottom so that it's not, you know, getting onto my upper lid and transferring. Now I am digging up under there really good, but going really slow. And I'm taking it easy. I don't want tarantula lashes. I'm only layering the mascara because I like the formula from the first one, the waterproof, and I like to really lift and separate with this silicone wand. Yeah, and see, I mostly concentrated on the outer corner just to give an incredible lift. Lift at the root. At the root. Don't just get in there and like on the edges and as fast as you can. Take a minute to get at the root. And if you have teeny tiny lashes, something like this will be your friend because you can really get in there and lift. And I said up and lift so many times today. So I get it at the root and then close gently and pull. So gently. Do not want to lose an eye today. Not today, Peanut. All right, that's looking good. I'll do the bottom real quick. Now I'm going to show you a lifting concealer trick that I know you're going to love. It's all coming together. Now before we get to concealer, my mascara is still a tiny bit wet, and I'm just going to shove my lashes up. I do not want them touching my eyelid though. I'm not pushing them enough to touch the lid. I'm just shoving from the root to make them stand up even more. Let me investigate. Yep, it worked. Like, that is not bad. And that will help with a hooded lid. Just like a false lash does, you guys. I love false lashes for hooded lids, but not everybody can get them on. And I recognize it's not for everyone. But I really, really suggest something like the Naked Lashes by Ardell with a super invisible band. So they're easier to get on, you guys. All the way to the My Lash But Better by Kiss. Now these are a little more drastic. They've got more volume, but you're gonna cut off like one or two of the outer sections anyway, so it makes them appear smaller. But those have a great invisible band as well. So anything with the invisible band is really gonna be your friend with a hooded lid, because that eyelash helps give an extra lift to the hooded lid. I always say it's like a claw holding your eyelid up. But if you can't do that, it's okay. I wanna give you options so that you can still try this. But let's get into that concealer. So I'm gonna use my favorite liquid concealer. This is my brand, the Beauty Bar. We've talked a lot about concealers here on my channel. It's a very important, frustrating, and wonderful subject all at the same time. Now, my liquid concealer that I use here is very comparable. I always say to e.l.f. liquid. If you want something more affordable, Shape Tape is about 20 bucks, but it's still a great concealer. But those are both good liquid concealers. And any other brand, it's fine. I just love to give you some comps. Now I'm taking that eye serum, that caffeine eye serum that's super cold now. It's been sitting in the ice water. And I just have a little bit of, oops, thought I was gonna lose it on the floor. I have a little bit of serum and a little bit of concealer, and I'm just mixing them together, a small amount of serum. Mixing it together on the back of my hand, it's going to create a beautiful, luminous concealer. Let me get just a little bit more of the lighter shade. I want it to be just a tiny bit lighter than that. So this is a really great trick to make a luminous, moisturizing concealer. And with a fluffy brush, if you have a problem getting it in your eyelashes, you can use a smaller brush here. But I tap it around until I have the product spread out on both eyes. And now gentle sweeps I sweep away any eyeshadow that was misplaced, and I sharpen this up to give a lift. Look at that. Make sure it's blended really nice. You can't see where it ends or begins. And same on the other side. Slicing your eyeshadow, giving a natural lifted effect. So it's not all about, oh, my hooded lid. It's give a complete lifted effect to your entire appearance. And then your lids don't have to do all the work of pretending they're not hooded. All right, blending it, buffing it down into my blush a little bit. I'll go over my lips because I like using that little bit of concealer to start my lip liner with. It makes for a really great long wear lip. All right, I'm gonna grab my blush brush and just back blend a tiny bit. Now, if you're not super crepey on that inner corner, you can go back in and add just a tiny bit of a highlighter. This is a powder highlighter. You can use a really light eyeshadow if you want, whatever you like, but you can pop that inner corner just a little bit more. So like I said, this isn't about the lid, every single thing about the lid. It's about brightening and opening those eyes as well. Every single trick that I have shown you will help contribute to that. Brightening, widening, opening your eyes. So it's not all about the hooded lid. But we can certainly use everything to our advantage. So let me slap some lips on. Give me a second. I'm gonna do one of my favorite bright lip combos. I'm gonna do a lip liner by Jafra Cosmetics. This one is called Blushing. It's a really nice, pretty pink, but it's bright for me. I usually will do like a more nude lip, but when I brighten up my lips, my eyes pop quite a bit. So here we go at the Cupid's bow. And notice I'm getting a few layers. This is a pretty long wear formula, but it's really creamy. Several passes back and forth will actually build up that product and it lasts much longer. And now I'm gonna go in with my favorite lip plumping jelly that has color in it. This one is Picante Pink. And you know I cannot say Picante Pink without saying it with an accent. Picante Pink. I don't know why. But it is a lip plumping jelly. It really is. You can feel it tingle. Okay, so I'm gonna head in with some setting spray. I'm gonna use the NYX matte finish, the Fin Matte, if you will. And guess what, you guys? My fan that I always use for setting spray has disappeared. I may have lost it in Las Vegas. So, tragedy has struck in the beauty bar. I'm just saying. Instead, I'll have to smack myself in the face. And actually, I ordered a couple of new fans, so I'm just waiting for them to get here. All right, I want you to check out my hoods, if you will. Let me do a teeth check. Yeah, this is a great trick for those hooded lids. And like I said, I showed you several things today that you can take 1, 2, 3, or all of and implement them into your makeup routine. Let me do a quick hair fix. All right, got that crazy hair tamed down, and I just want you to double check the lids. You guys, what a big difference that makes. Arching up my brow a little higher, getting that deeper shade right in there to create the appearance of a more prominent brow bone and crease. So there's more of a contrast there. You could even add a little bit of highlighter up here at the top if you wanted to make it even brighter right underneath your brow. But I think this is good. I even showed you how to add that highlight on the inner corner. Keep your fat triangle eyeliner there so it doesn't close off the inner area of your eyelid, and really focus on everything you can to really brighten the eyes, brighten your look, and hopefully brighten your day. You guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to check out my members only area, guys. It's only $2.99 to join, and we've got all the things in there. I even did a behind the scenes when I was in Las Vegas there. So we have a lot of fun. I hope to see you there, and I hope you know that I love and appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.